even when you step away from all that stuff, when you feel like you don't want to be a part of it, it's one rule that's in all that. No disrespect tolerated. Could've, like, I looked at it, I'm like, this the big bro. Like, big bro, a legend. Like, this how all the young rappers coming up in the game looking at him like.
The streets can't stop talking because Lil Durk, the voice of Chicago himself, just dropped a courtroom bombshell that left everybody stunned. He didn't hold back, not one bit. Durk stood up, pointed across the room, and straight up accused Quando Rondo of having a hand in King Von's death. You could hear gasps echo through the courtroom. This wasn't rap beef anymore. This was real life on the line. Reporters say the tension was thick enough to choke on. Durk's testimony hit like a punch to the gut, tearing open wounds that never healed. For years, fans argued about who really caused that tragic night.
To November of 2020, this is when one of the other people on his record label, I should say rapper King Von, was killed. This is after he got into a fight with Quando Rondo. So this case that's as it's coming out and we're learning more details has been in the works for a long time.
If you don't know that Quando Rondo is a subject or was the alleged target of the whole thing going on with Durk right now. And
now the man closest to Von just gave his version under oath. But the question hanging in the air is brutal. Is Durk telling the truth? Or trying to rewrite history before the feds rewrite it for him? Let's rewind to that deadly night in November 2020. The night Atlanta streets turned into a war zone. King Von, Chicago's rising star and Durk's right-hand soldier, was celebrating outside Monaco Hookah Lounge. It was supposed to be a night of success and smiles, but fate had other plans. Out of nowhere, Von's crew crossed paths with Quando Rondo's squad, and everything changed in seconds. Eyewitnesses say the energy flipped instantly. Voices got loud, tempers exploded, and before anyone could blink, fists flew and gunshots cracked through the air. Chaos everywhere! When the smoke cleared, King Von was down, bleeding out on the pavement while his friends screamed for help.
Grammy award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk has been charged in a superseding indictment alleging murder for hire plot to kill a rival near the Beverly Center shopping mall in Los Angeles in August of 2020.
Really nothing new in the indictment. This is just the feds getting ready for him to come back to Los Angeles and giving him co-defendants in the indictment. He was arrested on a complaint, so it would be totally standard for them to then go and seek a grand jury. And
that single moment shattered two cities, Chicago and Atlanta, and the internet hasn't stopped arguing since. Cops moved fast. Timothy Leaks, better known as Lil Tim, one of Rondo's closest boys, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Fans lost their minds online, replaying every second of that footage, zooming in, frame by frame, trying to solve it themselves. Was it a setup, a hit, or just a split-second street reaction that went too far? Quando Rondo eventually sat down for an interview, swearing it was self-defense. "We didn't even know it was Von," he claimed. He said his crew just reacted, protecting themselves. But instead of cooling things off, that interview lit the internet on fire. The streets said Rondo was ducking accountability.
There's been a lot of theories about that situation, about exactly why or who or whatever has been involved. There's been a lot of little lyrics, little pot shots from different people over the years about that situation. But no matter how you look at it, bro, this is the situation. Quando is dealing with life or death. And before that, you know, they shot up his car 100 times. Fortunately, no one.
And Durk's OTF family started looking at him like public enemy number one. But here's the twist. While Rondo was defending himself, Durk was fighting demons of his own. He's now facing a federal indictment that could end everything. Prosecutors claim he masterminded a hit for hire against a rival near LA's Beverly Center in 2022, using OTF money, burner phones, and coded messages to set the play in motion. The paperwork calls him the lead defendant, accused of using interstate lines to plan the hit and firearms to finish the job. These aren't small-time charges. This is life-on-the-line territory.
See people freaking out about, like, Lil Durk's supposed to get the electric chair or whatever. In certain states, the death penalty is a lot different.
The same man who once ruled the charts could now lose his freedom forever. Fans are torn. Some say the feds are framing him. Others think his past finally caught up. Either way, the clock's ticking, and the courtroom just became the hottest stage in hip-hop. Prosecutors aren't holding back. They're painting a chilling picture of Lil Durk not just as a rapper, but as the alleged mastermind behind a powerful organization called Only the Family, or OTF. According to the feds, this wasn't just a label making hits. It was a crew making enemies disappear. They claim OTF members used violence, intimidation, and chaos to keep their grip on the streets, all under Durk's command. The feud that led to all this heat? It reportedly started after King Von's death. Court documents mention a rival known as TB, someone Durk allegedly saw as part of the same circle that took Von away from him. Prosecutors say Durk wanted blood for blood and allegedly put a bounty on TB's head.
Did you feel like your life was over?
Hell nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I know Quando said he felt like he had an out-of-body experience. Do you feel the same though?
In the club, and he stayed outside in the car. He wanted to just go to sleep in the car. And Lil Tim, his boy, was staying outside with him because he didn't want him to stay by him.
Sparking a deadly domino effect that would end in yet another tragic loss of life. On August 19, 2022, things exploded. The indictment says several OTF members stalked TB for hours, watching his every move before pulling up at a Los Angeles gas station and unloading dozens of shots. A family member riding with TB was killed instantly. It was described as a calculated, cold-blooded ambush that prosecutors claim was directed straight from Durk's phone. And it doesn't stop there! Investigators allege Durk funded the entire hit, flights, hotels, everything, using OTF money. The feds claim they've got the receipts, flight records, bank transfers, and text messages that show Durk telling his people,
Maybe I just got free pick. I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to say. Like, I was wondering, like, damn. Like, was they trying to do something to me? Like, the fuck my image up and, like, just boost him up?
You just don't know where it came from. You have
clue.
no idea.
"Don't book no flights under names involved with me." That one line sent shockwaves through the courtroom. FBI agents tracked Durk's every move from Chicago to LA, saying he even traveled with his alleged co-conspirator, Von London Grant, the same man accused of buying ski masks and booking hotel rooms for the shooters. It was like something out of a crime movie, except this time the stakes were real. By October 2022, the feds made their move. They caught Durk near Miami International Airport just before he could take off on a one-way flight. Reports say he had tickets to Dubai and Switzerland ready. Clear signs, according to agents, that he was trying to get Ghost before the walls closed in.
Bro, it's past fair. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, It's the same scenario. And Von is like same type of artist, same type of guy. Like, it's just saying God must have had a plan, and the plan got to be probably bigger than we all know it is, because it's crazy how that scenario.
The bust was quiet, precise, and brutal proof that the feds had been watching him the whole time. But the streets were bleeding on both sides. Just weeks later, Quando Rondo's world came crashing down when his close friend, Lil Pab, was gunned down near LA's Beverly Center, the same area linked to the OTF case. Rondo and Pab were ambushed while sitting in their black SUV, and the moment was caught on video. Rondo could be seen screaming in shock as his brother in arms lay lifeless beside him. The clip spread online in seconds, showing the real pain behind this endless cycle of violence. Rondo poured his grief out online, posting tributes and heartbreak messages that left fans divided. Some saying it was karma, others saying nobody deserves that kind of loss. But one thing was clear.
Yeah, I'm just waiting shit play out. Shit go how it go, goddamn. Niggas just really waiting the goddamn case over with.
Then when the interviewer asked him about his decision,
Yeah, point blank, people pick and choose, cause shit, no matter where you at, like, no matter any part of the world, somebody gonna goddamn do a goddamn, like, anywhere in the United States, anywhere, any country, on the earth, a nigga would've wanted their partner to be their phone.
the street war that began with King Von's death wasn't over. It was evolving. Then, in a shocking twist, August 2023 brought another bombshell. The charges against Lil Tim, the man accused of killing King Von, were suddenly dropped. His lawyer, Noah Pines, announced that the case was dismissed before even reaching trial, with prosecutors accepting that Von's death was self-defense. The reaction online was chaos. Some claimed justice was finally served. Others said it was a failure of the system. The debate was louder than ever, and everyone was watching to see what move Durk would make next. Prosecutors claimed Durk wasn't just an artist with a label. He was the head of an organization called Only the Family, or OTF, and the feds say this family did more than make music. They allege OTF members carried out violent acts, including and assaults, to keep control and protect their name. Durk's feud with a rival identified in court papers.
Gang, now I'm back. Niggas see I'm doing my shit, I'm taking back over. Niggas wanna be all dick riding all this, man. Niggas slide, bro. Lil J ain't never been no goofy, no lame, none of that shit.
As TB traces back to the night of King Von's death, setting the stage for everything that followed. Agents say that after TB's associate and Von were involved in that chaos, Durk wanted payback and allegedly put a bounty on TB, triggering a deadly chain of moves according to the indictment. On August 19, 2022, several OTF members allegedly stalked TB for hours, then opened fire at a gas station, and a family member riding with TB was killed on the spot. Prosecutors call it a calculated hit, not a spur-of-the-moment shootout. They claim Durk micromanaged the play, down to travel and lodging for the alleged shooters, using OTF money to fund it all. The proof, they say, includes bank records, flight plans, and text messages where Durk allegedly warned his crew, "Don't book no flights under names involved with me." The message hit hard in court, making the room go quiet. According to filings, the FBI tracked movements from Chicago to LA, saying Durk even traveled with an alleged co-conspirator, Kayvon London Grant, who bought ski masks and booked hotel rooms for the team. By October, agents moved in near Miami International Airport. Durk allegedly had multiple one-way flights lined up, including Dubai and Switzerland, but the feds grabbed him before he could board. They say they'd been watching the whole time. Meanwhile, the bloodshed didn't stop. Quando Rondo suffered a devastating loss when his close friend Lil Pab was gunned down near the Beverly Center in August 2022. The ambush at a gas station left Pab dead, and video captured Rondo screaming in shock as the body was pulled from their SUV. It was raw, painful, and viral within minutes. Rondo later posted tributes and memories, mourning heavy in front of the whole internet. Many believe Pab's death ties back to the OTF Rondo tension, calling it another page in the saga that began with Von's death.
Yeah, it did, because then people start thinking like, shit, this how it is now. So shit, that's the way people start going about things.
But that's speculation from the streets, not a verdict. Then came a twist in August 2023. Charges against Lul Tim, the man accused in Von's killing, were dropped before indictment. His attorney, Noah Pines, said prosecutors accepted that the shooting was self-defense, and the news split fans. Some called it justice. Others said the system failed again. Thug in jail, Durk rumored to face the electric chair, Rod Wave dropping his last album, and Drake getting old. Fans are asking, who we gonna listen to now? One post even showed a GIF captioned, "Me when I found out Durk was finna get the electric chair." Comments exploded with shock, worry, and disbelief. But here's the truth. This whole electric chair talk doesn't hold up. California, where Durk's case is based, no longer uses the electric chair. A federal ruling banned it in 2006. And in 2019, Governor Gavin Newsom put the entire death penalty system on pause. So even if Durk were convicted, the harshest punishment he'd face is life in federal prison, not execution.
Hey man, I got some shit cracking, man, some new shit, man. I got 50 bands for Officer Durk that I beat your ass one-on-one.
Still, with Durk behind bars, hip-hop feels the shockwave. The courtroom chaos isn't over, and fans keep asking, will Durk get a life sentence? Will this finally close the book on King Von's murder? Or will the streets spiral deeper into violence? One thing's for sure, this story is far from finished. Now, Durk's never been the type to stay silent online. If someone's making noise, he'll speak on it. And that's exactly what happened after Lil Tim's recent interview. Tim opened up about the tragic night in Atlanta, the same one where King Von lost his life. And it didn't take long for Durk to respond with a cryptic message aimed straight at him. But to understand why, you have to go back to that night, November 6th, 2020. King Von had just dropped his album Welcome to O-Block and was celebrating at Club Opium in downtown Atlanta. The night started smooth, full of energy, with his day one crew around him. Lil Durk was featured twice on the project, both collabs charting high and adding to Von's momentum. After the party, the crew decided to slide to another spot, Monaco Hookah Lounge. That's when everything changed. Outside the lounge, multiple cars pulled up. Von's people were waiting for him to step out of his car, but he was taking longer than usual. According to his manager, Jamin Francois, aka Track, Von's mood felt off. He wasn't acting like himself. Moments later, someone in Von's car spotted familiar faces outside, the kind that spelled trouble. What started as a night of celebration quickly turned into tragedy. Within minutes, the tension snapped, and that's when fate took a turn nobody could reverse. Someone in the car was asleep, and that someone was Quando Rondo. That's what the Breakfast Club reported, and what Quando himself confirmed in his interview with Angela Yee. In the car with him was Lul Tim, making sure Quando wasn't alone. They weren't looking for problems. They were just resting after a video shoot earlier that day. Meanwhile, King Von suddenly stepped out of his car, which was parked close to Quando's, and headed toward the spot.
Y'all whole ass niggas thought I was gonna be locked up for the rest of my life. Now I'm back. Y'all sick.
As Von walked up, he saw Quando and instantly swung. Quando had only been waiting by his car, avoiding the crowd near Von's vehicle. But when he started moving toward the club, Von cut him off and threw a punch. That single hit changed everything. Security footage clearly shows Von striking Quando first. Seconds later, chaos broke out. Lil Tim, seeing his friend under attack, jumped out of the car and pulled his Glock. He rushed around the vehicle and fired multiple shots. In the gunfire, King Von was fatally hit, and Lil Tim was shot 4 times by nearby police. The tragedy shook the rap world. Von's fans couldn't believe it. One punch, one bad moment, and a life was gone. Many said the fight never should have happened. Had he not hit Buddy, nobody would have pulled a gun, one YouTuber said. Others blamed Von for letting pride take over. I love King Von, one fan wrote, but my dad always said don't start none. Won't be none. They said Von dug his own grave through his choices. That you can't live both lives, gangster and rapper, without paying the price. The results are death or prison, and every man faces his own consequences. Quando Rondo later spoke about how confused he was by it all. He said he never expected things to go that way. He wasn't looking for beef, not even a confrontation. Rondo reminded people that he and Von were cool before. He'd even done songs with Lil Durk, Von's closest ally. Nothing ever came between them before that night. The situation drew comparisons to Tupac's fatal encounter. Both started with a fistfight that turned deadly. Von's manager Track told Vlad TV the comparison was fair. Both nights were things that should have never happened, he said.
Durk may be the hottest Chicago. He is the hottest Chicago rapper.
He was, man. He was. He was. Give him I salute him though, man, you know. It is what it is. I'm the face of this shit though.
Nobody knows what was running through Von's mind that night. But Lil Tim, still out on bond, recently spoke on it during a remote interview with Fias TV. Calm and composed, he didn't reveal much, saying he'd talk once his case ends. But he did leave a small hint about how he really feels, and fans are still waiting to hear the rest. When the interviewer asked Lil Tim about his decision to get out of the car and go after Von, he wanted to know if it was a split-second move or planned. Tim replied calmly, standing on what he did. He said he was protecting his brother and had no regrets. Many people agreed. One YouTube comment read, "Dude stood on business, he didn't do nothing wrong." Another said, "Lil Tim did the right thing. It's sad someone had to lose their life, but he protected his friend." Lil Durk, on the other hand, wasn't having it. After the interview aired, Durk jumped on Twitter and wrote, "We don't want to hear that. Scary, soft, stuck goofy." Fans wondered why he reacted like that. They believed Durk thought Tim's comments were an attempt to make his actions sound softer, to clean up his image. Durk saw it as weakness, like Tim was catching feelings. But many fans flipped the argument, calling Durk the soft one. "Durk's a goofy," one fan wrote. "He never caught nobody in his life," another said. "Durk needs to chill off the internet." Online chatter sided mostly with Tim, saying he simply reacted to protect his homie when Von threw the first punch. Still, some pointed out that if Von hadn't started the fight, none of it would have happened. One wrong move, and the whole situation spiraled out of control. What do you think about Durk's reaction to Lil Tim? Is he calling him out for clout, or does he really believe Tim's going soft? Let us know in the comments. Now, while all that was unfolding, another name started trending: Lil J. As most fans already know, Lil J was released from prison a few weeks ago, and people immediately began speculating if Durk would respond. Old wounds in Chicago rarely stay closed for long. If you followed the Chicago scene, you already know about the 2012-2013 beef between Lil Durk and Lil J. It wasn't just two rappers, it was blocks, gangs, and a city divided. Many trace it back to Durk's L's Anthem, where he took clear shots at his rivals. Fans still say that track lit the match for everything that followed. Lil Jojo from Brick Squad fired back almost immediately with his viral diss BDK, spitting, "Durk said fucking Brick Squad, so I can't wait to catch him." Not long after, Jojo was gunned down in Chicago. The streets were furious, and Durk made things worse by mocking him online. He tweeted, "Banshee, the best bikes," referring to the bike Jojo was riding when he died. Then followed with, "Might still be alive if he had a Banshee LOL." Those tweets crossed every line, igniting even more tension. That's when Lil J and FBG Duck entered the picture. taking JoJo's side and bringing the beef to a whole new level. They started replying on Twitter, mocking several members of the 300 group who had died. The post got ugly fast, with threats flying back and forth. One of Lil J's tweets read, "Rip Shiro LA and GMO, rest in piss." Then he directly threatened Lil Durk, tweeting, "You gonna see how much we out here when you clown-ass die like J-Mo." Things went quiet for a short while, until Durk dropped a mixtape and fired back on his track competition. In the song, he rapped, "I catch an op, I beat his shit. Catch Lil J, I heat his face. My Lil meet with him, Lil Duck, he can't duck this clip." It was a clear message to J Duck and WGA. Lil J didn't back down. He called out Chief Keef and Lil Durk to a fight and even offered money to make it happen. In an old video, Jay can be seen challenging both of them to a one-on-one, but neither Durk nor Keef ever responded. Soon after, Jay's life took another turn. On May 4th, 2015, he was arrested for firing his gun during a drug deal gone wrong. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison and couldn't make bail. His rivals mocked him instantly. Lil Reese tweeted, "Damn Lil J broke ass still locked up, bond out or some." Durk joined in, writing, "How this dude got 50K but can't bond out." With Jay locked up, the beef seemed to cool off. But in April 2022, everything changed again. Lil J was released and wasted no time letting everyone know he was home. He posted a video in his car wearing a mask, calling himself the Clout Lord, ready to take back the streets of Chicago. He's been dropping music non-stop ever since, uploading new songs almost daily to his YouTube channel, rebuilding his buzz. Fans flooded his comments, one writing, "Slim Dumb went up right where he was before he left." When Durk found out Jay was free, he instantly threw shade on Instagram. He posted a story saying, "Send me that shit of dude from the rack telling so I can post it. Hurry up." The message was clear. Durk was calling Jay a snitch. Durk believed Jay's early release meant he cooperated with police. Jay denied it, saying he's on parole and working hard on music. In his track Facts, he even addressed it, rapping, "I heard he was sneak dissing behind my back." Whether he talked or not, one thing's clear, Lil J's back in the game, and the tension in Chicago is heating up again. In his track To Clout 3, Lil J raps, "Now where they at? Don't give a fuck cause I'm on parole. You want smoke? Then it's that." Later, he adds, "I made him, I know him. Envy. Yeah, I'm on parole, but I still go get busy. He's not fully free, but he's clearly ready for anyone, Durk included." From a recent interview on Say Cheese, it's obvious Jay's ready to bite back. When the host asked a tough question, Jay didn't flinch. He answered straight up, keeping the same energy he had before prison. Some longtime fans agree he hasn't missed a beat. One YouTube user wrote, "Lil J had 7 years to think about how he gonna move. So far, he ain't missed a step." Another said, "Lil J could have been as big as Chief Keef if he hadn't got locked up. He was up next, just didn't have enough time." Still, not everyone's convinced. Some critics think Jay's momentum is gone for good. One commenter said, "Lil J looking like an old head now. He need to go get a job packing boxes. Leave that rap alone." As for Durk, he hasn't dropped any track or statement addressing Jay's return. Fans believe it's only a matter of time before he does. The big question now, will this old feud flare up again? Or will Chicago's rap scene finally move past its darkest era? Now, speaking of darkness, there's no denying that Lil Durk's story is soaked in tragedy. Whether you love him or hate him, his past is filled with pain. Some fans even say he's cursed, while others argue it's just the reality of growing up in Chicago's gang culture. The first time people noticed the pattern was back in 2014 when Durk appeared on Vlad TV. He admitted he'd already lost 20 to 30 friends to violence by then. That was years ago, so by now, the number's likely even higher. Durk's story starts in 1992. Born in Chicago as Durk Derek Banks. His father was imprisoned when he was born, leaving him to grow up struggling. He often talked about going hungry as a kid. Despite the hardship, Durk began gaining attention through social media, posting early tracks online and building a following before ever signing a deal. Eventually, he got involved with the streets, joining the Black Disciples. That decision quickly caught up with him. By 2011, he was arrested for having a gun with a defaced serial number, and that's where the chaos began. Durk eventually got those charges reduced and didn't have to serve major time, but he still did a short stint. By 2011, he decided to focus seriously on rap after seeing some of his singles gaining traction. He dropped multiple mixtapes on Dat Piff, and even though a deal with Chief Keef didn't happen, it was clear he had the drive to make it big if he stayed consistent. By 2014, Durk was part of the XXL freshman class and released his 4th mixtape Signed to the Streets after signing with Def Jam under his collective Only the Family. But while his career was rising, tragedy followed him everywhere. He admitted that almost every other day, he gets a call that someone close to him has been killed. The pain never fades. It just became something he learned to expect. Even before fame, loss surrounded him. One of his first close friends, Lil Mo, was killed early on, inspiring some of Durk's earliest songs. Later, his friend D-Thang was shot and killed when Durk was just 18. He honored him with a shoulder tattoo, something he's continued to do for every fallen friend since. One of Durk's early breakout tracks, Dis Ain't What You Want, centered heavily on dissing his rivals. It was raw, street, and personal, but it fueled tension. As Durk's fame grew, so did the danger. His lyrics came from real life, and those he mentioned were ready to retaliate. Despite making music non-stop, Durk couldn't fully escape the streets. Chicago wasn't forgiving, and the higher he climbed, the more enemies he gained. Every win brought more pressure, more violence, and more loss around him. In 2015, during a show in Philadelphia, that reality hit again. A man wearing an OTF shirt started shooting at Durk's tour bus. One person was killed, though Durk himself was unharmed. The headlines that followed hinted at something darker, a pattern too consistent to ignore. Over time, fans began calling it the curse of Lil Durk. Online videos claimed that for the past decade, a strange, almost supernatural energy surrounded him and those in his circle. According to the theory, anyone close to Durk eventually faces misfortune, hospitalizations, prison time, or worse. While there's no proof of any real curse, the coincidences are eerie. Too many deaths, too many losses, too much tragedy connected to one name. Whether it's superstition or the brutal truth of life in Chicago's streets, one thing's certain. Where Durk goes, chaos seems to follow. J Money is said to be the first victim of the so-called curse. Jay, from O Block, was reportedly set up around 2 p.m. He thought he was meeting a romantic interest, but was ambushed instead. Ops shot him in the head as he tried to escape through nearby alleys. Another name tied to the curse is Pluto, one of Durk's closest friends. Pluto died in a car accident after his vehicle flipped several times. Following the deaths of J Money and Pluto, Durk went on Instagram to speak about the losses and honor his fallen brothers. He later got tattoos in their memory. D. Rose was another figure connected to this dark streak. He didn't die, but at just 17, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison after he and friends fired into a parked car, hitting a 14-year-old boy. Some fans believe corruption might have played a role in the case, but either way, his fate added to the list of people around Durk who've suffered. Next came Bobo. He and several friends committed a robbery that ended with a 40-year-old man injured. The victim died 3 weeks later, and Bobo's charges were upgraded to murder. After spending 2 years locked up, he was released when the court admitted his right to a speedy trial had been violated. But just hours after his release, ops in a white SUV opened fire on his car, killing him instantly. The events were shocking, and fans began saying this couldn't be coincidence anymore. They pointed to Durk's 2013 video, Dis Ain't What You Want, calling it cursed because so many people who appeared in it met grim fates later. One cursed video might sound far-fetched, but multiple ones? That's what made the theory explode online. The rumor started on Reddit and quickly spread. People began tracking each face in Durk's videos, noticing how many had been killed or jailed. Another name connected to the supposed curse is Bezu, who was arrested for a 2009 murder. In 2014, police picked him up from Durk's house and found 2 guns on the table, putting Durk in legal trouble again for violating probation. Bezu somehow beat his charges, and Durk's were dropped, but people still counted as part of the curse. The next to fall was a man named 5 Star, who got caught selling drugs laced with fentanyl in Iowa. His arrest added yet another name to the growing list of people tied to Durk who faced disaster. Not long after, tragedy struck again. The people who bought from 5 Star overdosed in their cars. EMTs revived them with Narcan, but instead of stopping, they took more once the medics left, and one was later found dead. 5 Star was sentenced to 20 years in prison for his role. Then came another name linked to the so-called curse, Capo, a member of Chief Keef's Glow Gang. In 2015, Capo was shot in a drive-by, hit in the torso and hip, and died shortly after. During the getaway, the driver ran from police, crashed into a young mother and her baby at a bus stop, killing both. Shockingly, the driver only received 8 years in prison, and nobody ever faced charges for Capo's death. Durk, once again, memorialized his fallen friend with a tattoo. another name inked into his skin, another reminder of how deep the losses run. For time's sake, we can't go through every story tied to what people call the curse of Lil Durk. But understand this, these are only a few examples. Online, there are entire threads connecting dozens more deaths, arrests, and tragedies surrounding Durk and his circle. Reddit users have built timelines, piecing together eerie coincidences that stretch back over a decade. Still, as haunting as it sounds, there's probably no real curse here, just the brutal truth of street life in Chicago. This isn't some spooky internet myth or ghost story. It's the cost of growing up surrounded by violence, betrayal, and revenge. What fans call a curse might just be the price that comes with that life. Lil Durk's story isn't about the supernatural, it's about survival. Every name lost, every tattoo on his body, every tear shed, it all paints a picture of what it takes to rise from a city that swallows so many. So, what do you think? Is Lil Durk really cursed? Or is this just the harsh reality of where he came from? Do his videos hold dark energy, or are they simply a reflection of pain too real to ignore? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the next story. Because whether you believe in curses or not, one thing's certain, every time Lil Durk wins, the shadows seem to follow. And that's not superstition, that's Chicago. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe, stay aware, and keep it real.